In today's video, our intention is to discuss where we were, where we are heading in 2023 with respect to real estate.
Yeah, so all of us as consumers had quite a roller coaster ride when it comes to real estate. The market reached its peak in February of this year and then started declining right after once the Bank of Canada and the Fed south of the border started raising interest rates, which had a direct impact on real estate prices, of course. And, before a lot of people were driven by the speculative mindset. So let's see how the market had appreciated, whether it's time for us to make a move and sell and make some money. So right now, most of the people's concerns are actually based on fear. So people are fearful of what's going to happen in the marketplace, given the performance of the market in the past 10 months. And like most of the folks out there are thinking, well, the markets have crashed. So
Which is amazing when you look back. You see that people are willing to compete on bidding wars without any hesitation when the market is going up.
Yeah.
And now that prices drop tremendously, and that's the time to invest, you see buyers are more reluctant or sellers are more reluctant what to do.
Yeah, precisely. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to give you a perspective by looking into the data over the past 10 months of the neighborhoods, three Toronto neighborhoods that had depreciated the most. And then what's as important is looking at those neighborhoods, those same neighborhoods that had depreciated in the past 10 months by a lot, and see how much they've appreciated leading up to that peak of the market back in February of this year. So we're going to look at a year prior, between February of 2021 and up until February of 2022. And then we're going to take that time slice of 2 years and see how the appreciation period of a year is compared to the depreciation period of 10 months and whether the markets had actually crashed.
Yeah, and you may think that the neighborhood which depreciated the most would be the neighborhood also that appreciated the most, which is not the fact.
Yeah, intuitively you would think, what has come up has to come down, but not necessarily. To give you a prime example, there's a neighborhood in the east end of Toronto called EO4, and you should be seeing the geographic boundaries of that area on the map right now. So CO4 has gone up between February of 21. EO4 has gone up between February of 21 and until February of 22 by 44%. 44%. Is that normal, Mitra?
It is not, but we have seen this dynamic over and over again. We saw it in 2017. We have seen it really over and over again. Certain neighborhoods, for certain reasons, creates huge demand and at the same time a huge drop.
Yes. So,
in fact, what we noticed, the neighborhoods with the lowest appreciation, also in certain areas, we saw that they had the lowest depreciation as well in the past.
Yeah. So let's look at the three markets that have declined the most in the past 10 months. So C11, again, the map is up on the screen. C11 has gone down by 19.5% this year, since the beginning of the year. And that's for detached homes. Condos in the same period of time, over the same period of time, in the neighborhood of CO8 also claimed the first prize. They've gone down by minus 3.6%. Not a whole lot. Now let's look at how that compares to the performance of those same areas a year prior. So C11 for detached, 19.5% depreciation, 29.38% appreciation just a year prior to that. And for condos, it was minus 3.6% depreciation. For CO8 a year prior, 27, almost 28% appreciation. For condo owners specifically, things are actually quite rosy. They're looking great.
More affordable, and even with interest rate hike, people really see the value of moving into the condo for sure.
Second place, CO9, detached, minus 18.06%. For depreciation, that same neighborhood a year prior appreciated by 32%. Okay, is there a lot to complain about when we're talking about appreciation of 32% and a depreciation of 16%? Condos in the second place, W02, depreciation minus 0.5%, so barely moved. That same area a year prior appreciated by almost 28%.
Yeah.
Again, no complaints here. W09, third place we're talking about, W09, detached. Depreciation by 15.62%, A year prior, the same area appreciated by 24.96%, almost 25%. And for condos, in the third place, CO1 has gone down by minus point, I can't quite see, 36%,
Yeah.
like it barely moved the needle. And a year prior, it's gone up by almost 25%. So, on balance, what do we have, Mitra? How does it compare?
Honestly, when we look at these numbers, we see that even you look at the 2-year period, you are still, whoever purchased a property 2 years ago, they are still ahead. And even if in 2023, we will see another decline of, let's say, 10 to 20%, which could happen or not, we never know. We are still going to be in a great position being a homeowner who is really enjoying the lifestyle that we created for ourselves, avoiding to pay rental prices for properties that now you see how much rental prices gone up, and at the same time enjoy renovating, do whatever we want within the home that we purchased, and we create opportunities for our future.
Right, so a lot of buyers, and Mitra is talking about buyers clearly, people that are thinking about entering the market. A lot of buyers are concerned that the market is going to continue sliding down, but then they forget about the correlation. If the market prices in real estate are going down, in our situation right now, it's a consequence of interest rates going up. So when you compare your outgoing expenses for mortgage payments, taxes, etc., on a monthly basis with higher home prices and lower interest rates, versus lower house prices and higher interest rates, your outgoing expenses are going to be the same.
The same, absolutely.
And on top of that, right, if you have a mortgage with a bank, most likely for a variable mortgage, you're going to be paying interest only, effectively, right, when interest rates going up, so that your monthly payment is preserved at the same level as it was before, and you're not going to be extinguishing the mortgage amount itself.
You can actually ask your mortgage broker or your mortgage specialist to calculate for you if you would have bought a property early on in February of 2022 with the lowest interest rate that was available at the time and prices that were up by 50%, then how much would have been your monthly payment? And now that the prices are down, interest rate is high, over a 5-year period, literally see the difference. It's not a huge amount. And more importantly, when we are comparing within the last 2 years or within even the last 5 years, whoever purchased a home at the peak of real estate market, meaning 2 peaks, 2022, February 2022, and the peak of 2017, we are still seeing that the prices are definitely not lower than the 2017. 2 peaks in real estate market.
One caveat that's worth mentioning here is that, of course, if you bought the house right at the peak, like in February of this year, and then for whatever reason you're thinking, oh, maybe it's time to sell, like kind of panic selling sort of thing, then this is not a great move to make right now, because if you bought at the peak, the markets have gone down since the peak, right? Important to realize, since the peak, by, depending on what you bought and what area you bought, say by 15 to 20%. And then, of course, you're going to be losing money, compounded further by the fees that you have to pay on the sale. So
that's relative too, Vlad.
That's not a great position to be in. However, if you bought a while back, right? I mean, you're golden.
Yeah, that's also relative. If you do see a golden opportunity right now that would allow you to upsize your property or create opportunity for you to renovate or change your lifestyle because it's a must, because you are going to buy and sell in the same market, then the impact is not going to be as dramatic if you are going to replace your investment with another investment property.
Yeah, great point. Thank you. The main point that we're trying to make in this video is that all this fear-mongering out there is not really reflective of the actual market conditions. Yes, things have changed since February. Yes, certain areas in Toronto and in Canada in general have gone down. But if you take a high level perspective, if you look at this from a perspective of, say, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever your term of ownership is for your property, then things are actually looking quite good.
Pretty good, yeah, absolutely. So you might be thinking of, this is the time for you to sell and buy, whatever it is. This is an amazing time. The end of the year, to think of what's your financial goal, what's your personal goal, what are you envisioning in 2023, and focus on that. Why you are going to do what you are going to do. And then there is definitely solutions for each situation. This is a great opportunity for you, the end of the year, thinking of all the reasons you must stay where you are or you must move. What are the pros and cons? Put everything on paper, and that would allow you to literally get clear about your financial decisions in 2023. And along the way, if you have any questions, feel free to call us. We are here to help.